We're going to play a little game. I'm going to ask you some questions, and you have to decide amongst yourselves which one is more scary. Right, so first question. What is more scary? Finding an old family photo but everyone in the picture has no face? Or your passwords suddenly failing on all your accounts?
They're both very scary.
Well, I mean...
All right, let's do this.
Passwords
all
for
gone
me.
out of
because,
Obviously, the passwords for me, because I look at a lot of family photos and they've got no faces on anyway because they've faded out. I'm just used to that. They're just crap from 40 years ago.
Yeah, those photos used to be rubbish, didn't they? They would fade over time. You get those, the sticky...
Yeah.
You pull it back and you open it, go, oh, let's look at these. You're like, what? Who is that? It's all
A year later, it's gone brown. It was those instant ones. I can't remember what
my password stopped working. I would think, oh, my God.
God, help me.
Okay, I'm going to go for the no faces thing because it reminds me of a Doctor Who episode where... everyone's faces kind of went, and that was really bloody terrifying.
No. Because now, Detective Inspector Bishop, there is no power on this earth that can stop me.
Now, I do
I'm going
spend...
for the faces bit. But yeah, old photos do fade.
There's something personal I'm going to say about Emily. She is actually quite a chicken. She stands behind sofas hiding her eyes when there's a spooky film
I
on.
can't stand anything like... Can you watch horror films, Kieren? I can't. I just can't do it. I'm too terrified.
Yeah, I can, but I find the ones that get me are the more sort of psychological ones where I'm thinking about them and then I think, I wish I hadn't watched that.
Question number 2. What is more scary, hearing whispers in the dark when no one is there, or when your phone dies just as you're about to pay with your mobile wallet at the grocery store?
This one's easy, because I never pay with my phone and mobile wallet. There we go.
Phone dies. Okay.
Whispers, definitely.
I'm going to go with the second one. I'll tell you why, because, it could be anything. Like someone's watched the whispers. Could be like, someone's left an iPad on somewhere. I hear this all the time. I've got used to it. But I do use my phone for everything to the point where I've stopped taking my wallet with me. So if I'd gone and packaged up all my shopping and then didn't realise that my phone had died, I would then be, I'd have to come all the way home again. I'd have to deal with the, the societal shame of having packed up all my stuff. And then, so I wouldn't say it's scary. I would say it's more frustrating.
And shaming, because you might have to get your supermarket trolley, your full supermarket trolley, and go around the shop and put everything back on the shelf where it belonged.
I've got another one which is...
I wouldn't want you as a security guard. Right, put that back.
Just do that, Mr. McCarthy. Very nice, I believe you. Just put all the stuff back now.
I must admit, I am definitely under the 14 recommended units a week, I promise, but I do hear whispers in the dark quite often. But my phone did die at an American border control, and that was really scary because my entry documents were virtual. They were in my email. I now print them out and carry them with me every time.
Final question. Hearing your door creak open when you're alone in the house, or when your printer jams while you're trying to print something important at the last minute?
Okay, I'm going to start with this. You started this with anything, some words, and then you've talked about printers, which gives me... I mean, Katie who produces the internet seriously, and I like to print something, just to have something to write on just before we do this, with a few headlines. And the bloody printer, again, there isn't a printer out there. Is there anybody out there who can recommend a printer that actually works? This is not about spooky or not spooky. This is just terrible for us all. Printers. Are there any printers that work?
There's no such thing as a printer that works. In fact,
we put people on the moon.
Something we heard at the Global Anti-Scam Summit this week is, because every presentation, Kieren, had to have, and we're using AI to blah, 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 blah.
Of course.
Right, of course. And there was one of the participants who came from a public safety law enforcement background, not the sector you think of when you're thinking of, really tech tooled up. They have a rule in their office that if anybody talks about AI, they have to attach the printer by a USB into a server and make it print something. And until they do that, they're not allowed to talk about AI. And I think that's a great rule.
But using the printer as punishment, I love that.
So I don't know if there's any winners or losers. I think we found really that compared to psychodramas, whispering in the dark and nightmares, I think the results are pretty astounding, that tech problems are much more scary than the supernatural.